Hey guys, we're back with part 2. Now, as for the viewer emails, we're gonna have a part 3.
We have a lot of viewer emails on part 3.
Yes.
There was no viewer
emails.
emails
It was about like
last week.
7 or around there. So
you might cut it down a little bit.
Let's start off with MLB. Cliff Lee K's 11 and gives up 3 in his first game with Philly. Now, prediction: what do you guys think Lee's stats will look like once the season's over?
I think Lee's going to be right up there. You know, he's moving back into this, staying in the NL. You know, he had a great season in Philly 2 years ago. With the Rangers, with Seattle, he was both in the AL last year. I think, like you seen Roy Halladay did last year, going from the Blue Jays to the NL. The NL is much weaker than the AL. I think Cliff Lee, he's going to have the pressure off his back, being that number 2 guy instead of that number 1. I think he's going to fill in nicely there. I could see him putting up 17 wins, maybe even 17, 18 wins. Yeah, maybe right around that 3 ERA, right around that 3 ERA, right around 200 strikeouts.
I can see him getting 20 wins. He's got the capability.
And he's got the offense around
him, too. He's a beast, too.
I can see him getting right around there. Him and Halladay.
Yeah.
Solid 1-2 combination there.
Very good 1-2 combination.
All right, moving on. Evan Longoria leaves the game with a sore oblique. Now, can they still be a solid team without Longoria?
Yeah,
I mean, they're already starting off 0-2 right now against the Orioles.
You need Longoria, man. I mean, that's like, you know...
That's like losing Tom Brady.
If Manny and Damon can't cash in,
that's like us losing
That's
like us losing, you know, Adrian Gonzalez right now, too. And like, you know,
there's a lot of losing going on right now.
Yeah, a lot of losing, especially in Boston.
Losing Evan Longoria, he's that captain. He's basically a captain at a very, very young age. He's still only 24 years old. He's a real good player, real mature above how old he is. He's a great hitter. They really need to carry him, have him play around 150 games for them to even have a chance there in the AL East. It's the toughest division in baseball, and Orioles and Blue Jays both got better, and they're gonna have to stay. And the Rays are the only team of the 5 teams that really got worse.
Yeah.
So they really need to step up, and Longoria needs to come back as soon as possible for them to have a
losing
chance.
Crawford to the Red Sox.
Losing Crawford.
And then they don't have Gasman anymore, do they?
No, they'll try to Gasman last year. They didn't have Garza anymore. They had a beast bullpen last year. They have a terrible bullpen now.
They don't have talent.
Bullpen's that big weakness right now. Yeah, they did a lot, but the one thing they need first.
Go like Tampa anyway. Come on.
Let's move on, Tampa. I don't like the cowbell song.
I like the Devil Rays.
The Devil Rays, man.
All right, if
that's some old time stuff going.
All right.
Oh man!
All right.
Hey, it's another home run for Texas.
Buckle sucks too.
Yeah,
all right, here we go. He's already allowed 3 solo homers in this game, so we're just gonna move.
And the saddest thing is he's been the best pitcher of the 3.
Yeah, so we're just gonna move on with the show right now. Yeah. So, lastly, Jair Jurgens already goes down on the DL, and Mitch's pick takes a huge hit. Now, who needs to step up?
All the other guys. Tommy Hanson is my pick for the Cy Young Award. He's going to have to really step up. He only pitched 3 2/3 innings last game and gave up 3 runs. He's going to have to really step up and be that guy to lean on. And also Derek Lowe and Tim Hudson. Those are the 2 experienced guys. Tim Hudson had a great season last year. And Freddie Gonzalez gave the ball to Derek Lowe game 1. They're going to need both of those guys to step up. And Tim Hudson needs to be how he was the last couple of years for them to have a chance to coach until he gets Jurgens back.
I think your World Series prediction just took a hit to the Nats.
No, they didn't take a hit. No, they're a solid team.
The Braves, I compare them to the Mavericks. I compare them to the Mavericks, though. They're a team that makes the playoffs pretty much every year.
Yep.
Yeah, but they make the playoffs every year, and then they just lose the first round.
And same with the Twins, too.
That's what they do.
Minnesota Twins. But I think the difference is this year, I think they have a loaded lineup this year. It's real good. I think a lot of people, and Tommy Hanson's going to really mature. And that bullpen, who I forgot to talk about last week, is Craig Kimbrell and Johnny Venters. They're a solid 1-2 in the back end. I really like the whole team loaded. I don't think it's a major hit.
Still gotta beat the Phillies.
Who, by the way, Pat was saying last episode, who's your pick for the World Series?
I'll go with the Phillies and this is rough in the East there.
Phillies Red Sox?
I don't know.
All right now.
Yeah, definitely not that. No.
Phillies Rangers?
Oh, maybe. You never know. Maybe.
It's a solid team. They need a little bit more pitching right now. Apparently not. They're pacing it.
All right.
Some offense.
Let's get out of this MLB. It's been depressing for Red Sox.
Yeah, producer, shut that off.
All right. Anyways, moving on to NBA. Derrick Rose continues to coast as he scores 36 to beat the Raptors. Now, ready for this question? Is he the greatest player in the game?
He right now is the greatest player in the game. Not physically gifted. I think that's still LeBron and Kobe. I think they have the most skill, but I think Derrick Rose is a tremendous leader for Chicago and Tom Thibodeau, who's going to be the coach of the year. Chicago's the best team in the game. I hate Chicago with a passion. I hate Derrick Rose. I think he's my least favorite player in the game. But Derrick Rose is a great player. His shooting's really improved. His passing ability, his defensive ability, his leadership ability, everything has gone up to an elite status right now. And he's definitely a top 3 player, and I think top 1 player in this game.
I think everyone looks towards like the small forwards and the shooting guards and like to be like the MVPs.
Yep.
It's kind of unfair to the point guards. Just because they're smaller doesn't mean they can't do as much as them. Yeah. I think he deserves a lot.
No,
of credit.
Derrick Rose is shoo-in for the MVP.
Yeah, he
We're talking about that. But are you saying Derrick Rose is the best player in the game?
Right now, probably, yes.
I think so, too.
I'm sorry, I don't see,
I think it would be interesting if
Never been a big fan of LeBron. That's just saying.
I'm a huge LeBron fan. I think it would be interesting if they traded Rose for LeBron right now and see if LeBron, with a better Chicago team, if he would still be better.
Hit the road, LeBron.
I think the big thing is Tom Thibodeau, best coach in the game right now. I think that was a great pickup. Yeah. Carlos Boozer, huge pickup.
I wish we had him back.
Yeah. Chicago's better than Lawrence Frank. That guy, if you look at him in the sidelines,
was he the coach of the Nets at one point?
He just looks up there and he looks like he doesn't even know where he is. Like he just kind of looks around, doesn't even do anything. But Tom Thibodeau is great. I like Joakim Noah back at Luol Deng. That team's loaded. Derrick Rose is that big catalyst there.
Yeah, Boozer, right?
Huh? Boozer too.
Yep. East.
All right, moving on. The Lakers have won 9 in a row. Now, can they surpass the Spurs for the #1 seed?
Yes, they can. I think they can.
Are they the best in the West?
Yes, I think so. You can't until you beat them, because they're just like the Celtics, they're defending. Until you beat them, then you know what? You're not the best.
I put it better myself.
I don't think they are like the Celtics. I think the best in the East is Chicago. The best in the West is the Lakers. Lakers come all the way back. San Antonio had a huge lead. Now the lead's only down to 1.5 games.
Old team.
I think there's 7 games left. 1.5 is an easy road to climb. Spurs, I think they might start staying people. I think they already wrapped it up. They want to have either 1 or 2. It doesn't matter as much in the West because the West is a little bit more open than the East is. But
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it is.
Really? There's a lot of competition in that West.
There is a lot of competition, but it's not as top heavy. You don't really need the seeds, Yeah, you just need a 1, 2.
I'm just saying, the 8 seed in the West would beat the crap out of the 5 seed in our league.
Really?
I think I'd say.
Well, that would be Atlanta. So you'd say Memphis would beat Atlanta right now.
Atlanta's overrated. Thank you. I said it on camera. Atlanta's overrated. They're gonna lose the first round.
All right. Well, that's big. That's big. But I think Lakers are the best team. They won 9 in a row. Kobe's back to that MVP. Paul Gasol's back, and Phil Jackson's back as the best, the best coach after Tom Thibodeau this year. I think.
Shannon Brown stepped up too.
Shannon Brown stepping up too. Derek Fisher everybody's stepping up.
Lamar Odom.
Everybody's loaded. Andrew Bynum, that team.
Possibility for him.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I think you look at that. You think you look at Glenn Davis as a possibility for 6 man.
Yeah, he's got the shot going too.
He is.
Man, I'm liking that shot for the big guy.
As far as the Lakers, I think they are the best team. I think the Spurs are a close second right now, and I think they're going to be surpassing them.
The problem is the Spurs are the old team. Yeah. They're very talented. They got that veteran talent. They got the Ginobili, Parker, Duncan. But you can only have that for so long.
Very similar to the Celtics team.
Yeah, it is.
1, 2, 3.
I just like the 1, 2, 3. The Celtics better because it's more like flashy.
Yeah. And one thing we were talking about the Celtics. One player that's really been the captain of the whole Celtics team this year. It's not Rondo, not Pierce Allen. I think Garnett might have the best season he's had as he has in the Celtics uniform.
Really stepped up.
He is stepping up. All those that vintage shot with the behind the back and right under the 3-point line when he's wide open. He is not missing that shot.
That's a player that you want to idolize. The player who gets the crowd amped up, really gets the fans involved in the game.
Yeah, he's a
No one else does that. Like LeBron's a show. Hey, let's throw some powder on our hands. Throw it up. Come on, fans. Garnett's like, hey, get in the damn game right now.
Yep.
We're going to mess this shit up.
And Garnett does that with the powder.
But
bangs his head against
back
the
to LA. Yeah, LA's the best team in the West.
All right.
LA is.
Moving on to NHL. Okay. All right. Before wait, what did you just say about Kevin Garnett?
Kevin Garnett.
You said he was something about something game. I thought I heard.
He gets everyone pumped up into the game.
Oh, okay. Maybe not Charlie Villanueva, but all right. Moving on to NHL. Bruins first to clinch the division in the East. Now, as Montreal can catch up, what is the biggest strength and weaknesses headed towards the postseason?
For the Bruins?
Yes, for the Bruins.
I think the biggest strength is that big guy, Tim Thomas, is the goalie. I think they have the best goalie in the game. We'll talk about that later, who's going to win the Vezina. But I think that defense is very, very solid. No matter how bad that offense is, I think Tim Thomas and Tuukka Rask, they have depth too. If Tim Thomas goes down, who's a little bit old, they have Tuukka behind him. That's a solid 1-2 punch. And I think that defense is the best in the game. The Bruins are. I think the biggest weakness is they don't have that legit goal scorer. I know Milan Lucic is matured as a 30-goal scorer, but they don't have that big sniper like a Jerome McGinley, like an Alex Ovechkin, some guy who they can lean on to get that goal. I think that's the biggest weakness.
I'd say the biggest strength is they're in the top 5 for goals for and goals against, right? So that's key right there. Yep. But I mean, that's their biggest strength.
They have a lot of depth, but they don't have that big guy.
Yeah,
for goals.
Their other problem is this has always been a problem with the Bruins, though. I think they need to take advantage of their power plays more. They don't do that.
Power plays.
They're like 20th in the league in power plays.
But the one guy who's helped is Caberlet. And Caberlet, that was the reason why they got him.
Yeah.
And I think he's made that power play a much better.
Because they're going to need that for the playoffs, especially. Yeah. Those power plays in the playoffs are even bigger, like 5 times more important than in the regular season.
Yeah.
Because you just need that extra man. You need to take advantage of that extra man, or you're going to lose.
You can cash into those opportunities. I like that.
All right, moving on. Now, who would be the toughest or easiest first-round matchup for the Bruins out of these choices? Montreal, Tampa, Sabres, or the Rangers?
I think the easiest team right there easily is the Sabres. I think Ryan Miller's the big guy there is Ryan Miller, but that offense is very weak. That defense is weak. If they can get past Miller a little bit and they have a lot of depth to do it, I think the Sabres, I want them in the first round. The hardest team there is either on paper is Tampa, but because they're Montreal, I think Montreal with those fans are going to be hating on Chara all through the playoffs.
Scares me.
If they see Chara, I would not want to be Chara in that Bell Center. There's going to be a lot of
Canadian references today.
Canadian references.
There's going to be a lot of. There's going to be a lot of Canadians.
All right,
at Chara there.
Come on.
No. Don't say anything. All right.
But I think the best team under there is Tampa, but I think the worst matchup is Canadians. The easiest.
I think we got Ike up here from South Park.
What about you, Pest? Back to the show. Let's go.
I gotta go with. I have to say, I fear the Canadians because they're that team. They'll show you, hey, we don't need to be in the top spot.
Yep.
We don't even need to be in like the top 6 or 7. We'll just take the 8th seed and we'll mess the 1st seed over.
Just
take them out, man.
Let's go.
All right, now moving on.
I agree with the Sabres, though.
Sabres. Okay. Now moving on, the season is rapidly closing and awards are coming out soon. So prediction on who will take the Hart Trophy MVP and the Vezina Trophy. Vezina.
Well, the MVP, like I did.
Yeah. Sounds like a. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anyway.
The MVP should be the most valuable player. I've said this before in baseball when I picked Cargo and the Rockies. I think the best player who's had the best season is Daniel Sedin, but without Daniel Sedin, I think Vancouver would still be a playoff team.
Yeah. I'm
going to go Corey Hart of the Anaheim Ducks. I think he's been tremendous for them. I think 90 points, 40 goals, 40 assists. Anaheim's at 7th seed right now. Without Corey Perry, they would not be in the playoffs. He's been that big carrier for them. I said Daniel Sedin is the best player in the game last week, and I'm going to continue. I think Daniel Sedin is the best player in the game, and I think he's better than Corey Hart. But as far as MVP goes, like I said, I think Albert Pujols is better than Joey Votto or Cargo, but I think they stayed up the MVP because they would not be in the playoffs without them.
I think we went for the same with Votto, though. They won't be in there for Votto either, though. It's like,
no, that's what I think. One of us picked Cargo, one of us picked Votto. I forget who. I think I'm going to pick Votto.
The thing is, it's the most valuable player to the team that you are on. And like you said, I think Hart is. They wouldn't be in that spot at all.
Canucks still have.
But I mean, the Canucks with Sedin, I still don't think they'd be that good.
Oh, they'd be loaded. They still got
without Sedin, though?
They have the other Sedin, too. Henrik Sedin. They got Ryan Kessler, too.
No, I'm just saying.
They have 3 of the top 10 players in the game.
It's like, what are we going to lose Garnett from the Celtics? It's kind of like that. I mean,
yeah, but they'd still be a solid team.
They'd be a solid team. They'd be like a 5 or 6 seed.
But they wouldn't
be
in the playoffs.
They wouldn't be a 2 seed.
Well, they're a 1 seed.
Well, they would be. Oh, who? What?
Vancouver.
Yeah, I'm talking about Celtics, man.
Oh yeah.
Confusing me now.
But so wait, you take Daniel Sedin as the MVP?
No, I take Corey Hart. I'm just saying the fact is that it's like you'd say, he's not an important addition. He wouldn't be as important if they lost him.
No, I agree. I think Vancouver would take a little bit downfall, but I think they'd still be a 4 or 5 seed. without Corey Perry, I think they'd be out of the playoffs by far.
They still do have that ridiculous Luongo though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Canucks still got Luongo. They got Henrik Sedin and Ryan Klesser are both in the top 10 players in the league. So they're loaded. They are the best team in the game.
I'll agree with Corey. I'll agree with that.
Yep. And for Vezina too? You doing Vezina?
Yes.
I'm going to go Tim Thomas. I think he's been that rock for the Bruins the whole year.
Definitely.
The other guy there is Pekka Rinne of the Nashville Predators. I think he's similar.
Pekka
Rinne. Sounds like a smelly cheese.
He's had similar numbers to Tim Thomas, but I think he's actually been more important than Tim Thomas because I think Bruins have a better overall team than Nashville. But I think Pekka Rinne is right there. But I think Tim Thomas. Vezina is different than the MVP. It's basically who is the best goalie. I think Tim Thomas is the best goalie. There's a couple other choices there. It's Carey Price from Montreal and Henrik Lundqvist of the Rangers, both in solid years.
Thomas, I don't think the Bruins would be with that if they had Rask in place of Thomas.
Not
against Rask. I mean, I know he's supposed to be the future and all, but I mean, he's not showing it.
That was my biggest thing I've ever said. I said I think it's Rask's team, and I think Brian was right when he said Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas is showing the veteran colors, just taking over this team.
Yep, I think that was my biggest thing I've said wrong.
All right, well, part 3 is coming up loaded with viewer emails, so stay tuned.